Hi there, Andrew O'Toole with you again for this week's edition of Top End Track Talk. Today we'll be previewing this coming Friday's meeting here at Fanny Bay, which will be the 4th of September. Last week's meeting, although featuring only 4 races, was a good return to Darwin racing. However, this Friday's 5-race card promises to be even better. With 40 acceptors and 4 each-way betting affairs, it is to be hoped we can lead you into a winner or 3. This Friday's opener, the Silks Darwin Handicap, gets underway at the late afternoon time of 3:20 p.m. and in the first, my numbers are 2, 1 and 4. Really good little race to start the program here, and featuring the Palmerston Sprint first and 4th place getters in Enigman and Smuggling. This event over 1,300 metres. I'm going here with number 2, Smuggling on top. To be ridden by Alice Lindsay, and I think that's the key. She claims 3 kilograms off the 60 kilogram book weight of Smuggling. That brings her in 5.5 kilos better than her rival Enigman, or his rival Enigman rather, than what they carried in the Palmerston. We know how good Enigman was winning the Palmerston, but I think on this occasion, Smuggling, with that pull in the weights, is the horse to beat. Of course, trained by Phil Cole. Phil having a great run with his team, and I've got it on top, number 2, Smuggling, to beat the obvious danger, number 1, Enigman. Was so impressive winning the Palmerston for Gary Clark. Kim Gladwin goes on this week. Paul Shires, of course, rode in the Palmerston and must be considered, is a previous winner at this trip from only 3 starts. And my third selection, number 4, Ransom Money. Another horse who ran in the Palmerston, finished 6th and not far away either for trainer Dick Leach. Terry Treichel in the saddle. Robbie Fradd rode in the Palmerston. Second start in Darwin, I think, will race very well. Those numbers in the first, 2, 1 and 4. The seconds, the Melbourne Cup package is on sale, maiden. My word, we're getting close to the Spring Carnival, of course, and the first Tuesday in November, the Melbourne Cup Day. And my numbers in the second, this maiden event over 1,200 metres, 2, 3 and 7. Dying to win a race, number 2, Marcellus, trained by Angela Forster and Kimmy Gladwin in the saddle. Third on Cup Day here behind Air Blazer in maiden company. 4th the start before behind Liberty's Torch. Really getting close to a win. 10 starts now for 2 third placings, but some other good runs scattered amongst those 10 career starts, and I think he'll be winning. Number 2, Marcellus on top for me. Ahead of number 3, Mr. Azim from the stable of Gary Lafoe and Paul Shires in the saddle. Really good run last time out at Catherine behind Andale Gringo. Tried hard on that occasion, and having its only its third start, lightly raced horse, I think will race very well. And in for third at number 7, Stroke of Magic. She just can't win a race, this 4-year-old mare. She's had 13 starts now for 3 second placings. Trained by Phil Cole, Alice Lindsay in the saddle, claiming the allowance again. And I think Stroke of Magic knocking on the door once again. 2, 3 and 7 in race 2. The third's the Top End Racing Awards on October the 9th handicap. That'll be a big night here at the club, honouring the participants and horse flesh from the last 12 months. The Top End Racing Awards, always a good night, and that's on October the 9th. This event's the benchmark 54. It's over 1,200 metres. Numbers here, 2, 5 and 3. The very much in form number 2, the Mont for me here, trained by Tayan Holter. Vanessa Arnott in the saddle. Was a winner on Cup Day here, beating Grinzinger Brew, and then went down the road to Catherine. Finished a good second there behind Toorak Road. Toorak Road, as we know, has had a very good campaign of recent months, and I think the Mont be very hard to beat. Carries 61 kilograms, but should have their measure here. Number 2 on top for me. Ahead of number 5, Frilly Design, from the Gary Clark stable, Jared Todd in the saddle. Its last run was a little disappointing on Cup Day behind Belmont Day, but prior to that it run 2 really good seconds behind Belmont Day and Tornado of Souls. Can get back to its best form here. And in for third, number 3, Ia Carlio from the stable of Pat Johnson. Only had the 3 starts in the top end, but its last 2 have been good performances both here in Darwin and Catherine for third placings. Adam Nichols takes them out. 2, 5 and 3 in race 3. We move to the 4th. It's the Great Northern Handicap. It's for the 0 to 70 gallopers in another event over 1,200 metres. My numbers here in an interesting field, 2, 4 and 3. Gary Clark really holds the key to this race. He's got no less than 5 of the 8 runners engaged here. But I'm going for number 2, Vunavalu, to repel the Clark challenge, trained by Phil Cole. Wayne Davis in the saddle. Of course, that combination, they won the last race here the other day, the Mel Tyndall Memorial with Cronus. That was an emotional day and an emotional win, and the boys are just going great guns at the present time, Coley and WD. And I think Vunavalu, looking for his third win in successive starts, can do the job again. He was very good winning here on Cup Day. He won on days 3 and 4 of the Carnival, and he's racing out of his skin. I've got him on top here, number 2, Vunavalu. To beat number 4, Bull Market, trained by Angela Forster and Paul Shires in the saddle. It's had a little brief freshen up since last racing here on Cup Day. Finished 4th behind Prince Planet. That was over 1,600 metres, so drops back to the 1,200, but I think can race well, Bull Market, over this trip. And in for 3rd, one of the Clark train runners. You've got to have them in the mix somewhere. Number 3, Divine Red, Jared Todd aboard. Last started on Cup Day here behind Vunavalu, beaten 11 lengths on that occasion, but it's better than that run would suggest, and we've got it in to run 3rd. Numbers 2, 4 and 3 in the 4th. And in the last, it's the darwinturfclub.org.au handicap. It's a 0 to 58, and this event over 1,600 metres to complete the day's action. My numbers here, 2, 4 and 1. Art of More, he's been racing well for Phil Cole. Coley could be in for a very good day, and Wayne Davis in the saddle. He's only had the 4 starts in the top end, 3 of them in Darwin, including a win and a 2nd placing, and then a 2nd as well at Catherine. 3rd last week was El Sicario, and that was the horse that beat Art of More at Catherine. So the form lines are pretty solid around Art of More, and with Wayno in the saddle, I've got it on top. Number 2, to beat number 4, Fort Knox. He'll surely be improved for his run the other day over 1,300 metres. Remember, he won here on Cup Day over this trip, and very impressively by nearly 6 lengths. Jared Todd in the saddle for Gary Clark. He must be the hardest to beat. And in for 3rd, number 1, My Tradition. Didn't it give them a bath last week for Chris Pollard and Stan Sakos, and goes round again if it's backed up from that winning effort over 1,300 metres last week. Sure to be hard to beat. 2, 4 and 1 in the last. Best bet of the day comes up in race 4, number 2, Vunavalu. Race 4, number 2, Vunavalu, looking for a hat-trick of wins, and really racing solidly, this horse for Phil Cole. While the best roughie, probably won't be that rough either, is in the last, race 5, number 3, Escalator. Last start 4th behind Handsome Return in the Catherine Cup. Certainly good enough to rate a good chance in the last. Well, that wraps up this edition of Top End Track Talk, but we'll be back in advance of our next meeting here in the Top End, and that's next Saturday, the 12th of September. In the meantime, good luck and good punting.